Okay, so you've built up quite the Rolodex over the years, and you've mentioned a smattering of the names in it. How does a cognitive neuroscientist who is also a musician, how have you gotten to know all of these people?
Well, some of them I knew apart from being a cognitive psychologist. So, for example, I met Bob Weir way back in the 70s when I was working for an outfit in San Rafael, California, that reconed speakers for the Grateful Dead when they blew them out. That's how I made a living for a while.
That was your job, sure. Yeah.
And I met Rosanne Cash and Rodney Crowell when I was working for a record label. I was doing A&R at Columbia Records, and stayed in touch with them. But really what happened was when the book came out, the book, Brain on Music, came out, a lot of people that I had met along the way or people I hadn't got in touch and wanted to know more about what I was up to. And that evolved into, hey, let's play together sometime.
Yeah. That actually makes perfect sense. And your education history, you initially went to school for music at, if memory serves, at Berkeley, right? And then sort of launched off into a playing career and went back to school for the science stuff. Is that right?
Yeah, that's more or less right. Yeah.
More or less right. Okay. I knew I had but memory's foggy. Close enough. Perfect. Great. So you really have had many different phases to your life / career, whatever you want to call it there.
Yeah. And, the question is, how do I get gigs, I suppose? And sometimes somebody will call and they'll say, we saw this program you did with Rosanne Cash. It's on YouTube. We'd like to hire you and come do it for us. Or David Byrne called one day and said, the New Yorker Festival asked me to fill an hour of time. And I'm going to talk about the future of the music business for 15 minutes. And why don't you talk about Brain on Music for 15 minutes? And then we'll play some new tunes that I just wrote with darn it.
The mind is a funny thing.
Yeah. So David had just written some tunes with Brian Eno, and Brian couldn't make the gig. So David said, I seem to recall that you're a guitar player. Do you want to play the Brian Eno parts on these songs? Sure. Count me in.
Yeah, that's great. That's what takes the fearless and shameless musician in you to say, sure, I'll play the Brian Eno parts. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, Brian Eno's parts just fit. They just sit right on the guitar. I mean, there's no weird stretches or things. They're beautifully sculpted parts, and so learning them was straightforward, and then trying to play them with the right intentionality and emotion was the job.
That's the job. Yeah. Well, and of course, the Brian Eno doing the job of writing them in the first place.
Yeah, well,
must not be glossed over. Yeah.
People don't realize this. You as a guitarist, I believe you and I have talked about this. Jimmy Page is a really sloppy guitarist. You hear all kinds of finger slips and missed stuff, but he wrote those parts, and we can all remember those parts. So that's the key.
That's the key. Yes. Right. That's the key. It's the execution. I mean, that's his style, and we all know those parts. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.